Perfume Junkies. This is Kay Loves Perfume and
Nancy J. Lewis.
And today we're going to talk about Opium the Greatest. The Greatest.
Opium.
The Greatest.
Isn't that a drug? Do you smoke it? Or I think smokehouses. Yeah, they smoked. Yeah.
I have no idea.
When I was a kid, my folks told me that they had a Chinese section of town where they had opium dens.
Opium dens?
Yeah, and they didn't want to drive down there because there was opium smoke all over the place.
Oh.
Anyway.
Well, this is Opium by YSL. This fragrance originates from the 1970s. And it is the queen of Oriental fragrances. Now, Oriental is a word that to some people it offends them, and so I'm hoping as a community, a fragrance community, we come up with another word. It's one of those things that eventually will probably change. So this is a spicy amber fragrance. That would be a good word for it. Spicy amber. Spicy amber resinous type fragrances. Now, opium contains resins like opanax, benzoin, and it contains spices like cinnamon and clove and smoke. Now, imagine just back in the day, you were allowed to smoke wherever you wanted.
Yeah.
And imagine you're at a spice market with heavy smokers all around and some sort of temple where they're burning frankincense and resins and that's just the smell, like all of these things combined.
Real busy, huh?
Yeah, but it's blended beautifully. It definitely takes you to another era and another space and time.
Well, it reminds me of, I love Indian food.
Indian spices?
And Indian spices. And this reminds me, when I smell that, I think of India and their beautiful food, which I love, which shows.
Yeah, they do have beautiful food.
Oh,
now
fantastic.
I'm thinking of the delicious food.
Yes.
But yeah, to me, I'm not getting India so much, but I am getting... To me, when you said opium den and you were talking about Chinese Americans in the opium den, that kind of makes me think of Chinese Americans smoking opium back in the day when they were mining for gold, because Chinese Americans immigrated from China to America during the gold rush especially, and they had their opium dens, and they were like big time gang lord, like they did the gambling. They were in charge of the gambling, in charge of towns sometimes, and then there's some towns that were racist towards them and left them out, and then of course there's some towns where they were included and loved. You know, you never know.
Depends upon the individual.
Yeah.
Do you know, as a point of interest, you know, sun-kissed oranges? You know, a sun-kissed brand of citrus. Well, over in Riverside, California. That's where Sunkist originated, and in the beginning it was either the first or the second group of people who worked there were the Chinese.
Yes, Riverside, California actually has an old Chinese part of town that's closed down, and it was the original Chinatown for Riverside.
Oh,
and now it's shut down, but there is an organization of Chinese Americans that lead it, and they're trying to bring it back up and make it a museum, because Chinese American history is really interesting. I like learning about it. They worked on the railroad, they were gold mining, and it is interesting to learn about it. But that's what I think about when I think about opium, was Chinese Americans during the gold rush. Like that's what I'm thinking about. And I come from Oregon, and Jacksonville, Oregon. It's Jacksonville, I believe. Yeah. It holds a lot of history of Chinese Americans.
Oh, really?
Mining. Yeah, they were mining for gold. The Chinese Americans in Jacksonville, and that's what this makes me think of is the old Chinese American part of town. But yeah, opium. So when you smell this isn't your cup of tea, is it?
No.
This is my cup of tea. This is a very, very strong fragrance, mature, but it's one of those fragrances you wear to wear a story. You are a story. It's like a painting. You're seeing new things on the painting that you've had for so many years and you didn't notice this. Maybe it means this and it changes meaning. This develops on your skin like a story, like a painting. Oh, that's what I get. This is art. And this is a vintage version from the early 2000s. I believe this one is from 2002.
That's a very good analogy.
But yeah, wow. So if you're a frag head and you have not smelled opium, you definitely need to. It is above and beyond niche quality. Like, niche fragrance. Who are you, niche fragrance? I got me some opium. But yeah, vintage is like that to me. It's just special because they use the real ingredients, like a lot of niche fragrances use, like real cinnamon oil, real resins, you know. It's all real. But yeah, so that is Opium the Greatest. The reason I say Opium the Greatest is because there's a blog on it on the internet. All you need to know about batch codes, so all you need to know about getting opium off of eBay, Mercari, wherever you're getting it, you got to make sure you're checking to see if it's real because there are fakes out there. And you don't want to fake opium. No. That's for sure. No. So you want to make sure you look at the batch code and you line it up with Opium the Greatest. That's the name of the blog. And then they will show you where what era your fragrance is from. And you can find out like what era it's from. And make sure it's real, authentic opium. You don't want to get a fake, trust me. But yeah, so that's Opium the Greatest. If you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe to join in on my and her perfume addiction. Bye.